Did you know that after the age of 60, 1 in 3 people begins to lose strength in their leg muscles without even realizing it? And it doesn't happen suddenly. It's a silent, gradual process that slowly appears in daily life. First, a small effort already tires you. Then getting out of bed seems more difficult. Carrying a grocery bag starts to require more than before. The stairs seem higher. And when we realize it, we're already leaning on furniture, avoiding walking long distances, and accepting the cane as part of our routine. But what if I told you that, in most cases, this is not just age? What if the reason for your weakness in your legs is in what you eat, thinking you're helping your body, when in reality, you're weakening it from the inside? This story is more common than it seems. Imagine the case of an active elderly man who always liked to wake up early, take care of the yard, visit his grandchildren on weekends, and go for short walks. Suddenly, he starts to feel that his knees are weak. With each step, his leg responds less. The fear of tripping or falling arises. Furniture becomes allies, and the cane becomes a necessity. He finds it strange because he has never had a serious health problem. He takes tests, and nothing appears out of the ordinary. His cholesterol levels are under control, his blood pressure is regulated, and his heart is doing well. But the weakness continues. What's happening? The name behind this process is little known but very common: sarcopenia. The word may seem complicated, but what it describes is something simple: the loss of muscle over time. It's a natural process, expected as the body ages. But there's a big difference between what's natural and what's inevitable. Muscle loss can indeed be slowed down, stopped, and even reversed. And for that, nutrition plays a much more important role than one might think. Many people think that it is enough to exercise or walk every day to keep muscles firm. Of course, physical activity is essential, but alone, it does not solve the problem. If the body is not receiving the right nutrients in the proper quantity and combination, the muscles have no way to maintain themselves. And that's where a very common mistake comes in. A mistake that seems innocent, but may be committed every day by people who believe they are doing everything right. Perhaps you are even making this mistake now. Let's think about something very simple. The diet considered healthy is not always ideal for those in their senior years. What worked when you were 40 may no longer work at 65. And this happens because the body changes. The metabolism slows down. Hormones transform. Nutrient absorption becomes different. And foods that have always been part of your daily life and seem harmless may be creating an internal environment that gradually weakens the muscles without giving immediate signs. You wake up, have your coffee, eat your meals, follow your routine, and do not imagine that some of the foods most present on your table may be sabotaging your strength. We are not talking about fried foods, soda, or industrialized sweets. No, we are talking about things that at first glance may even seem good for your health. And precisely because of this, no one suspects. That's why so many good, active, intelligent people start to lose firmness in their legs and don't understand the reason. They go to the doctor, take supplements, go for walks, but nothing changes, and this generates immense frustration. It gives the feeling that there is no way out. But there is. The first step is to understand that sarcopenia does not appear overnight. It sets in slowly. It starts with a slight difficulty getting up from the couch, discomfort in the knee, a weakness that seems emotional. Then comes the loss of balance, the insecurity to walk on the street, the resistance to the idea of going out alone. The bones ache more, the fatigue hits harder, the body starts calling for help. And the cane, which was just a temporary aid, becomes permanent. But this can be avoided. The good news is that you still have time. And it all starts with the way you eat. What many people don't know is that some foods, even natural ones, can cause an inflammatory effect on the body when consumed the wrong way. This type of inflammation is discreet, but constant, and it prevents the muscles from recovering as they should, even if you're walking, even if you're doing physical therapy, even if you're taking vitamins. If this silent process is happening inside your body, your muscles will remain weak, and it's not your fault. No one taught you this. You're just repeating what you've always heard. But now you're discovering a new path, and that changes everything. That's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next few minutes. You'll discover that there are foods you always thought were good for you, but which may actually be accelerating your muscle loss. It may seem hard to believe right now, but when you understand the reasons, it will all make sense. We're not telling you to cut these foods out of your life. We're saying you need to understand how, when, and with what they should be consumed. That's what makes all the difference. Remember the story of the man who started losing strength for no apparent reason? He found that a few simple adjustments in his diet were enough to regain a great deal of stability in his legs. It wasn't magic. It was science. It was consistency. And above all, it was applied knowledge. He didn't have to give up everything he enjoyed, nor follow a difficult diet. He just needed to understand what was happening inside his body, and how to help that body strengthen again. This is exactly what we want to show you. The loss of muscle, this sarcopenia, is not a destiny. It's a warning, an alert that the body is asking for help, and help exists. It comes in the form of how you put together your plate, the time when you eat, the choices you make in your daily life. It's possible to live with more firmness, more energy, more freedom. It's possible to get out of bed with agility, climb stairs with confidence, walk around the grocery store without leaning on the cart. And yes, it's possible to get rid of the cane. We've seen this happen many times. Most people just need guidance. Someone to say, look, you're on the right track, but these little details here might be getting in the way. They are details that often go unnoticed, and when corrected, they transform the way you feel. Your energy comes back, your posture improves, your confidence reappears. It all starts with a new look at what you put on your plate. In the next few minutes, we'll reveal which common eating habits may be contributing to the weakening of your muscles. And among these habits are very popular foods, present in almost every kitchen. We're not going to cause a stir, nor ask you to remove everything from your routine. We'll just show, with kindness and clarity, how to do better. Because you deserve to live with more lightness, more freedom, more independence. And this is within your reach. But before we move on, I want you to think about this. How many times have you wondered why you're losing strength even while taking care of your health? How many times did you think the cane was the only path? How many times did you believe that this was just the reality of age? Because now you know it doesn't have to be that way. There is an explanation, there is a solution, and you're very close to discovering what needs to change. In the next section, we will openly discuss the most common mistakes made in diet by those who already feel weakness in their legs. We will understand together why certain fruits so present in our routine may be silently contributing to this process. And most importantly, we will begin to build the path to recovery, because your muscle health is not lost. It's just waiting for you to take the first right step. And that step begins now. Do you remember what we said at the beginning? That many elderly people are losing strength in their legs because of something they consume every day, thinking they are doing good for their bodies? Well, now is the time to reveal which fruits these are. Fruits that, when consumed the wrong way, can accelerate muscle loss, impair your movements, and make you increasingly dependent on supports, such as a cane. The good news is that by understanding how they affect the body and what to do to balance this diet, you can change this reality. The first fruit on the list is the overripe banana. Many people love bananas, and rightly so. It's practical, sweet, and easy to digest. But the problem lies in the stage of ripeness. When the banana is too ripe, with those dark spots, it has a glycemic index that is too high. This means that it raises blood sugar very quickly, which can cause insulin spikes and a silent inflammatory process in the body. For those who already have difficulty maintaining muscle mass, this is poison. Instead of helping, the overly ripe banana sabotages muscle function and promotes fat accumulation, especially in the abdominal area, which further impairs mobility. The second fruit is the grape. It's small, sweet, and seems harmless. But what few people know is that grapes are one of the fruits with the highest concentration of fructose per serving. This means that even by eating just a few, you are consuming a very high amount of sugar. And since they are small and tasty, it's very easy to overindulge. Eating an entire bunch while watching TV, for example, is more common than you might think. The result? An excess of sugar in the body that overloads the liver, inflames tissues, and hinders muscle regeneration. The third fruit that may be harming your muscles is orange juice, especially when consumed every day on an empty stomach or accompanied by simple carbohydrates like white bread or crackers. A glass of orange juice, even if natural, can contain the sugar of 4 or 5 oranges, and since it's liquid, the body absorbs it very quickly. Without the fiber of the whole fruit to slow down digestion, that sugar goes straight into the bloodstream, and once again, the body responds with an insulin spike. For those who are aging and already struggling to maintain active muscles, this repeated daily habit is extremely harmful. Instead of providing energy, the juice causes fluctuations and gradually weakens the muscular structure. The fourth fruit is papaya. This may come as a surprise because papaya is seen as a light fruit, good for digestion, and it does have its qualities. But when consumed in excess, especially in the morning or as the only meal, it also generates a glucose spike, mainly in people who already have insulin resistance or a tendency for chronic inflammation. And since papaya has a soft texture and pleasant flavor, many people eat generous portions at once. When papaya is used as a substitute for a complete breakfast with protein and good fats, it ends up harming the body instead of nourishing it. The result? You feel hungry sooner, lose energy throughout the day, and weaken your muscles due to a lack of proper nutritional support. And finally, the fifth fruit is watermelon. Yes, that refreshing and common fruit on hot afternoons, especially in warmer regions of the country. Watermelon has a high glycemic index and practically no fiber when consumed in large slices. It is composed basically of water and fructose. When you eat a lot of watermelon all at once, it generates a sugar spike similar to that of soft drinks. It seems absurd, but it's true, and this spike directly affects muscle metabolism. Watermelon, like orange juice, is a classic example of a deceptive fruit. It refreshes and seems light, but it can overload the body and hinder tissue strengthening. These are the 5 fruits that, when consumed incorrectly, have the potential to sabotage your muscle strength. Very ripe bananas, excessive grapes, orange juice, papaya as a meal replacement, and watermelon in large quantities. We're not saying you should eliminate these fruits from your life forever. The problem is not with the fruits themselves, but with how they are consumed, without balance, without combination with protein, without moderation. Many people make the mistake of replacing complete meals with fruits. They wake up and eat a banana or just a slice of papaya. At lunch, they drink juice instead of a solid meal. At night, they snack on grapes and call it a light dinner. These habits, when repeated every day, cause the body to function out of balance, and the result is loss of strength, joint pain, difficulty walking, insecurity when climbing stairs, and a cycle of fragility that seems endless. Furthermore, the excess fructose from these fruits can cause a type of chronic inflammation that the body cannot easily control, especially in old age. This directly affects the muscles because the body needs to be in balance to maintain and recover muscle tissue. If it is inflamed, it prioritizes putting out this internal fire and neglects muscle building. That is, even if you are eating, walking, or doing some light exercise, the body cannot rebuild its muscles if the internal environment is sabotaging that process. But don't worry. In the next block, I will show you exactly what to do to recover your muscles and regain firmness in your legs. We will talk about simple substitutions, correct food combinations, foods that stimulate muscle rebuilding, and easy practices to include in your daily routine that will strengthen your body from the inside out. You will see that you don't need to cut out what you like, you just need to adjust. We have already helped many people who, like you, were feeling their legs weak, afraid of falling, avoiding going out because of insecurity. People who drank orange juice every day thinking they were taking care of themselves, who ate papaya thinking they were being light, who did everything right, but still couldn't improve. And it only took small adjustments for everything to start changing. The body has an enormous capacity for regeneration even after 60, 70, 80. But for that, it needs the right conditions. And these conditions are not complicated or expensive. They are accessible, practical, and possible to apply right now. And that is exactly what you will learn in the next and final block. Now that you know which are these 5 fruits that, when poorly combined or consumed in excess, hinder your muscles, the time has come to learn what to do to reverse this situation. In the next block, we will show how to recover firmness in the legs, which foods should be on your plate, and how to structure your diet in a safe, effective, and tasty way. It's closer than you imagine. Let's take the next step together. Now that you understand which fruits, when consumed incorrectly, can weaken your muscles, the most important time has come, knowing what to do to change that. Here is the first important message. It is totally possible to reverse this situation. Yes, you can regain your strength, you can walk with more confidence again, you can set aside your cane and take back control of your own routine. And best of all, without having to follow difficult diets, without spending money on expensive supplements, and without giving up the pleasure of eating well. The foundation of everything lies in the right combination of foods. What you put on your plate can be a poison or a medicine, and the difference lies in the details. Let's start by talking about something your body needs a lot now: real protein. Muscles are made of protein. If you don't consume enough protein every day, your body can't maintain what it already has, let alone build more. This is especially true for those over 60 years old. The ideal amount may vary from person to person, but it's important that in all of your meals there is some source of protein. And here are some easy examples to include in your daily routine. At breakfast, instead of just eating a banana or papaya, try including a boiled egg, a slice of white cheese, or even a plain, unsweetened yogurt. This will ensure your body has the right fuel to keep your muscles firm from the start of the day. And more, when protein is present, it also helps balance the sugar from the fruits. So if you like bananas, that's fine. But choose a less ripe banana and always eat it with a protein, like plain yogurt, for example. At lunch, keep the focus on lean proteins, such as cooked or grilled chicken, fish, eggs, and if possible, lean red meats in moderate amounts. For those who don't eat meat, eggs and grains like beans, lentils, and chickpeas are also good sources, but it's important to combine them correctly and consume in good quantities. Protein needs to be in all meals, including snacks. For afternoon snacks, avoid isolated fruits, especially those we discussed in the previous segment. Instead of pure grapes or orange juice, try preparing a mix with plain yogurt and a less sweet fruit, such as green apple, strawberry, or avocado. These foods have less fructose and more fiber, which helps keep your body in balance. And avocado, despite being higher in calories, is excellent for muscle health because of its good fat, which fights inflammation and aids in tissue regeneration. Speaking of anti-inflammatory foods, they should also be part of your daily diet. This is because, as we've already explained, chronic inflammation is one of the biggest enemies of muscle health. Therefore, including foods that combat this inflammation is an essential step. Here are some easy and accessible examples: ginger, turmeric, extra virgin olive oil, sardines, nuts, and seeds like chia and flaxseed. You can add a teaspoon of turmeric to your soup or beans, use ginger to season meat or make tea, add olive oil to your salad, and include a spoonful of chia in your yogurt. Small gestures that, when added together, make a big difference. Another essential nutrient for maintaining firm muscles is potassium, but not just any potassium. Many people think it's only present in bananas, but there are better options for those who want to protect their muscles without risking consuming too much sugar. Some potassium-rich foods with a low glycemic index are avocado, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, sweet potato, beans, chickpeas, and small amounts of natural coconut water. By consuming these foods, you're providing your body with what it needs to maintain strength, balance, and prevent cramps. In addition to the foods, the time of day when you eat also greatly influences your muscle recovery. Avoid consuming sweet fruits or juices late at night. At night, prefer a light meal with sautéed vegetables, eggs, and nutritious soups with grains and greens. This type of food doesn't overload the body and allows it to focus on muscle recovery during sleep, which is when it happens with more intensity. And to further strengthen your muscles, remember to keep your body active, even if lightly. Walking for 20 minutes a day, doing stretching exercises or simple movements with professional guidance already helps a lot. The secret is to do it every day, consistently. It's no use pushing yourself once a week and then stopping. The body needs to understand that it's being stimulated to grow, to stay firm. And, of course, along with the right nutrition, the result appears faster. You might be thinking, but will that alone make a difference? And the answer is yes, it does. And it's not just us saying that. It's real people like Dorothy, who is 72 years old, and after making these simple changes to her diet and including short daily walks, managed to leave her cane behind and now goes to the market alone. Or Frank, who suffered from constant leg pains and couldn't climb the stairs in his house. After he started balancing his meals, including proteins and cutting out juices, he feels more energetic and can now walk to the neighborhood park without leaning on anything. These results didn't come by luck. They came from the right information applied practically. And the next step is yours. Start today. Evaluate your diet. Look at your plate. See if it's colorful, if it has protein, if fruits are being consumed in balance. Replace juice with a whole fruit. Substitute the overly ripe banana for a less sweet banana combined with oats and yogurt. Reduce your excessive consumption of grapes and watermelon and opt for fruits with more fiber and less sugar. Include eggs, dark leafy greens, grains and seeds in your routine. Do this for yourself, for your body, for your freedom to walk safely again. And remember, no matter your age, there is time to strengthen your muscles. Your body wants to recover. It's just waiting for you to give it what it needs. And it's all in your hands. The cane doesn't have to be your permanent companion. The insecurity of walking can be left in the past. Strength can return. Stability can be regained. You're not alone. There is a huge community of people already making these changes, and the results are showing up every day. If you liked this content, take the opportunity now to subscribe to our channel. Here, you'll find practical, reliable, and simple guidance on how to age healthily, autonomously, and joyfully. Leave a like if this video helped you. Comment below which of these tips you'll put into practice today, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. It could be a friend, a relative, or someone you know is struggling to regain their strength. Together, we can spread more health and more hope. And also, don't forget to visit the link we've left in the description especially for you. Take the opportunity to activate the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any new content. Every week, we bring videos with tips on nutrition, exercises, disease prevention, and everything you need to know to live well in your golden years. And before wrapping up, keep this message close to your heart. You don't have to accept weakness as part of aging. Your body was made to move. Your muscles were made to support you. And even if you've lost some of your strength, it can be regained. With the right nutrition, small changes and attitude, you can live with firmness, security, and pride in every step you take. The first step begins now, and we're here to walk with you. Until the next video.